I have a story and you have a story. Every single person in this world has a story that follows them. It's what they've been through, where they're at, and where they want to be. In this video, we explore life. We selected a random student from a few ECS villages except our own to interview, and within this segment, you will see their stories unravel. You'll witness their greatest hardship, who they are after it, and where they want to be because of it.
From Law and Justice Village, I got to learn more about the unique student, Jacob Wilson.
Okay, so what's the hardest thing you've been through?
Probably being born with one hand is pretty tough, but when you're born that way, it gives you a lot longer to adjust to it, and obviously you don't have a hand to start with, so you don't have to think about the things that you used to be able to do and the things that you can't do now because it was never really there to start with.
So going through things like sports, that's pretty rough.
I mean, you would think it would be rough, but it's actually a lot easier for me than a lot of kids that just are normal, because the way that I look at things is that if I work harder than everyone else, then I could strive to reach my goals faster and quicker and easier than other people can.
So because of that, where are you now in your life with only having one arm and having to adjust to it?
Well, I mean, not only mentally, but also physically. I'm a lot stronger because of it. I mean, you think about the things you go through with daily life, you would think it would be a lot tougher than most people go through on a daily, but it's actually just about the same as everyone else. And being around all my classmates and teachers, coaches all throughout my life, everyone's looked at me the same, so it makes things a lot easier, and just having all that peer support from my friends.
So when you look at life, do you take that as a negative or a positive?
I mean, I take it as a positive. Personally, if I could go back and have the doctor do another ultrasound and see that the umbilical cord was wrapped around my hand, I wouldn't take it back. I would much rather live my life with one hand than two, because it makes me the person I am today.
Okay, so now in your future, what would you like to be, and where would you like to be at the stage in your life with having one hand?
Obviously, I want to go to college. I really want to go to UK and do something within the sports marketing, sports medicine field, because obviously growing up with one hand, it was a challenge to play sports, which made me want to do it even more, because a lot of times when people tell you you can't do something, it makes you strive for that more, and I'd just like to be involved with that for the rest of my life.
Is that going to stop you from anything in the future?
No, definitely not.
Turn up.
Feeling good.
Dude,
No matter what people tell you in life, don't listen to them and don't listen to the naysayers, and strive even harder than you ever have before to reach that goal to prove them wrong.
From the Health Service Village, I interviewed Emily Jasper, and this is her story.
what's the hardest thing you've been through?
Whenever my grandfather died of lung cancer.
And how, what's your emotional feelings because of it? Like, how did you feel inside?
We were really close, so it hurt me, but I had my family there to help me.
Who's your biggest supporter during this time period?
My grandma.
Your grandma? And what did your grandma do, to help you?
She always kept a positive attitude.
Okay, and who are you now because of this situation?
He made me a better person and made me realize that you always want to do the right thing.
Where are you going because of this situation?
I want to be a doctor because that's what he was, and he has an impact on me to do what he did.
And what do you do to achieve you being a doctor?
Make good grades.
Make good grades.
Just to keep a positive attitude through everything, and that it gets you farther instead of being down all the time.
From the Intermediate Arts Village, I interviewed Riley Barker, and here's a look into her life.
What's the hardest thing you've ever been through?
Probably getting away from an abusive person in my past. They weren't really related to me, but they were in my family, and they would just try to emotionally and physically degrade me, and I had to get away from it.
Do you have any contact with that person now, or are you totally free of him?
No, literally they're not even allowed to be around me.
So who are you now because of what happened?
I think I'm a stronger person where I don't let people push me around or mess with me. If someone does something that I don't like I will tell them, because in the past he would just do stuff and I wouldn't say anything about it, and then so it kept getting deeper and deeper, and then it got to the point where I could barely get it to stop. So now if I don't let people push me around.
Where do you want to be in life because of what happened?
I think I just want to be able to help other people that have had the same issue and problem that I'm having and get through it, or if they have gotten through it, just let them know that like it's not a normal thing to happen, and if someone is hurting you or they're making you feel like you're worthless or whatever, like don't let them do that to you. Like that is not the right way.
All right, well, I'm happy you're out of it. Do you have anything that you want to say to the people watching this? Like any advice if they're in a abusive relationship?
Just like get out of it as soon as you can, because like they try to manipulate you and it seems that everything is okay and like what they're doing is not wrong, but what they're doing is wrong, and it's not something that you should have to go through, and they shouldn't be putting you through it.
And finally, from the engineering village, we take a look into Ricky Auxier's life.
So what's the hardest thing you've been through in your life?
When I was about 11 years old, both my parents were just getting into some bad drugs and stuff, and one day they decided to drive while being on some pretty harsh drugs, and they both wrecked, and my mom actually lost her arm and she's in a wheelchair now, and my dad, he's in jail right now, but he's been out several times, but he just keeps going back just because bad decisions and stuff. But my mom is in a nursing home right next to the pavilion, and she's doing better. She's starting to walk and stuff, and everything's going the right way.
Okay, so because of that, where are you at in your life right now with them?
I am currently living with my aunt and uncle. They took me in right after the wreck, and they're really wealthy. They gave me everything I've really wanted, and they're basically like my real parents. I grew up with them since I was 11, and now I'm 17, and everything's just been going well.
So do you take them in as your regular parents, and do you think they treat you any differently?
No, like, I mean, I kind of wish it was back towards, like, because I mean, you never have the same relationship as you have with your mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But, I mean, they treat me right, they give me everything I need, they provide me with everything I need, everything's good.
Where are you at in life talking to both your mom and your dad right now?
My mom contacts me like every day. I play basketball a lot and stuff, so I don't really hit her back up that much. But my dad, I haven't heard from him since for like 2 years, and he came over to my house on Christmas, and he brought me a yo-yo. It's real nice, and I think he's back in jail now for like a bunch of stuff, counterfeit money and stuff, just getting into some bad stuff.
So in the future, where would you like to be with your parents?
In the future, I just hope that my mom gets better. I mean, I hope my dad gets his head on straight, but I really don't care about that. Like,
so in the future, you would not care to talk to your dad ever again?
I mean, I would. I want to like talk to him, but like where he didn't really grow up with me. Like I've been apart from him for like 6 years now, 7. Like it just don't even like faze me anymore. I could care less to talk to him. But my mom, on the other hand, I mean, I want to see her grow up and get better and get well, you know.
So if you have any advice for anybody that's had to live through situations without their parents or without their guardians from ages like into their mid-kids, what would you say to them?
If you're going through the same thing as me in life, just don't worry about what people think about you. Just live how you have to live, and just don't let anything stop you from being what you want to be.
Everyone has been through different struggles, and they have their own way of overcoming them. In this story, you saw an inside perspective of 4 people's lives, their hardships, who they are now, and where they want to be because of them. We hope by you hearing these stories, you're inspired that no matter what happens, you can get through it. Everyone has a story.